fucking shitty rock. It's a rock covered in bird poo.
Today we are going to be learning all about the 12 most dangerous islands that you never want to visit. But I don't know, I feel like one of them, I feel like Harry's a bit of a daredevil. He might want to visit one of these, so we'll see.
Ah, man, I'm down.
Technically, the United Kingdom's a very dangerous island to visit at the minute.
You know what? It is actually
Right now
the most dangerous island that you could visit in the world.
Right now, we're on one of the most dangerous.
Let's see if we made it. I doubt we
You
did.
laugh, otherwise you cry. That's it.
Laugh now, cry later.
12 most dangerous islands you never want to visit.
Dum dum dum.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
Number
Damn.
12.
FARALLON Islands.
Okay.
20 miles west of San Francisco,
okay.
sits a series of islands that are so jagged, they have earned the moniker, the Devil's Teeth. But this may no longer be a name based only in appearance. Because of the island's potential dangers, humans have been banned from stepping foot on the islands.
Oh.
The
What's
waters
dangerous
around
about
the
it?
islands are still a popular destination for whale watchers. And because humans can no longer interfere, the Farallons have become the home to one of the largest seabird colonies in the United States.
Oh.
Okay.
Although you can still catch intrepid skin divers
thought it was an eagle
sneaking
there.
onto the islands, the government adamantly warns anyone that they do so at their own risk. While you might be able to avoid the dozens of great white sharks that roam the area, feeding off the Farallon's large population of elephant seals, the real danger is one you won't be able to punch in the nose.
Tides, right?
Throughout the middle of the 20th
Oh, wait, what?
century,
Oh,
were used for the disposal
tides.
of radioactive materials.
No, it's
There are almost
Nuclear
50,000 drums
radiation.
full of nuclear waste throughout the area.
Oh, wow.
And with numbers that high, leaks are an inevitable certainty.
There's like 3-eyed fish in there, bro. 100.
Mate, the fish got coming off that island, or the birds must be like mutated and all this kind of stuff. It's dodgy creatures.
West of the African island of Madagascar, in the Indian Ocean, sits Reunion Island,
This looks
a
beautiful.
small yet busy
Yeah.
island that is covered by rainforests, rivers, and breathtaking waterfalls. Though it is over 5,500
Making me wanna
miles
go there
away
now.
from France, the island is still governed by French law. And
Oh.
because it is less of a hassle than traveling to island destinations where passports may be required, it has become a popular vacation destination for French citizens.
Okay.
Because of this, the island is one of the most modern islands in terms of sanitation and transportation.
Well, I want to go
It
there.
could be easy to get carried
Yeah.
away daydreaming about visiting Reunion
Yeah.
because of its beautiful villages
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
relative isolation from the outside world.
Yeah.
It's all been
The
good so
soldiers
far.
Tourists must be prepared for the terrifying realities of this pristine locale.
Okay.
First off,
I was gonna say,
it is
I look
home
like
to
a
one of the most
volcano.
active volcanoes in all of the world, which
Oh.
was a popular hiking destination for tourists until it was deemed too dangerous to traverse.
Wow.
I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk.
All right then.
Adds a bit
All
of
right.
spice to your hike.
500,000 likes on this bog goes up a volcano.
The next Sidemen Bad Holiday is just to a volcano. You can't from the side of it.
$10 volcano versus the
Dormant volcano versus active volcano. Oh god.
You don't want to get the active volcano.
One of the leading islands in terms of annual rainfall in the entire world,
Well, just rain
and
away
is
the
often
lava,
the
it's
victim of
fine.
I
violent
knew you were
tropical
gonna say
cyclones. Lastly, Reunion is known for having one of the largest and most vicious populations of sharks encircling it. The shark attacks have become so bad that the French government has forbidden surfing around the island.
Mad.
Despite this, there are still around half a dozen people who meet their demise every year from shark attacks.
Oh, wow.
Number 10.
Danger Island.
I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, if there's
Yeah.
one island you're not going to visit, it's Danger Island, surely.
Yeah, absolutely.
South of Maldives, in the western part of the Indian Ocean,
Ooh,
lies the Chagos Archipelago, a series of coral islands long inhabited by the Chagos people. One of the smallest of these atolls is Danger Island, which is full of coconut trees
Lovely.
that used to
That's
act as
lovely.
reserve by the Chagos. In the event food supplies ran short, the island is full of wildlife. Most significantly, it is the home of two rare birds with fun names to say: brown noddies and red-footed boobies.
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 No, I just want to sit on the booby comment for a second. Let it marinate. Alright, let's go.
Let boobies marinate.
Seafarers found the coral reef and
Oh, not
rocky
a
shoals that
turtle.
surrounded it
Oh, God.
too treacherous to anchor their ships. Even with modern transportation, the island is incredibly difficult to get to and navigate without risking damage.
Okay.
If you were to end up grounded or wrecked
no.
near Danger Island, you would find yourself utterly isolated from the world and would be especially in trouble if you were allergic to coconuts.
I'll just phone someone. Send a text.
Number 9.
Tristan da Cunha, almost 1,800 miles of South Africa, is the British territory.
British territory.
British territory, come on. Rule
Come on.
Britannia. Britannia rules the way.
Visiting this grassy circle-shaped island that measures only 8 miles across can be incredibly daunting, as the only way to reach it is by traveling 7 days by boat.
7 days!
Because of this, it once had the distinction of being the most isolated, yet still inhabited place on Earth.
That's sick.
That was until the volcano that formed the island
it was
had enough of
ruined
being
it,
a
innit?
host to humans and erupted in 1961, causing widespread devastation.
That's not
Luckily, because there were only a few inhabitants to begin with on Tristan da Cunha, the British were able to successfully relocate everyone to England before
Oh, wow.
they'd be wiped out. Slowly, people have returned. The island is now home to 270 locals who live life off the grid and farm to make ends meet, all the while trying to forget that the volcano may evict them at a moment's notice.
See, that's kind of
that's
sick, you know?
crazy.
Like a little community, just like...
Sidemen buy the island. Let's buy a volcano.
I don't think you'd be able to buy it because no one owns it, right? The British.
True.
The British own it. It's a British.
Hey, Boris. Bozza.
Lend us an island.
Bozza. Get us a helicopter, lad.
I don't think a helicopter would make it.
A
that
helicopter
way.
ain't
It's
make it,
so
bro.
far.
It's so far in the middle of the... Is that
Ah.
it? St. Helena and Tristan... Bro, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It is like that's
Jesus.
scarily far.
So what's the point in owning that then? Can we not auction it off or something for the British people? What good is it? What good is it? We own a volcano. Sick.
It's a world record, isn't it? Most remote island.
I think it's kind of cool, personally.
It's cool, but let someone else have it. It's no good for us.
Number 8.
Bikini Atoll.
That's out
Bikini.
the
Marshall
nowhere.
Islands are a series of atolls and islands that lie east of Guam,
Oh, Pia Mia's from Guam. That's the only thing I know about Guam.
in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The most famous of these islands is that of Bikini Atoll, which, although small, helped shape history, along the way becoming synonymous with the two-piece bathing suit and the atomic bomb.
Oh.
What was once a beautiful tropical locale is now a radioactive wasteland.
What?
No.
As Bikini Atoll was one
What's
of the
that
main
game?
sites at which the
that
United
was
States
fun.
military tested nuclear weapons. Though the island had a small indigenous population,
Oh
they were
no.
all relocated to a nearby island
That's right.
in 1946, before testing commenced. The island has remained abandoned to this day, aside from researchers studying the effects of radioactivity.
Number 7.
Mad.
Hashima Island.
Okay, what's happened
If you
here?
head out to sea, traveling west from Nagasaki, Japan, you will come across what appears to be a floating fortress. This is the island of
Oh, that's
Hashima,
hide and seek there,
aptly
boys.
known by the nickname
Yeah.
Battleship Island.
That looks
Hashima
dope.
was once one of the main sources of fuel for the Japanese military during World War II. The island was home to a coal mine, and because of the sheer amount of workers, the majority of which being Korean and Chinese POWs and enslaved civilians,
Oh, no.
it was at one point the most densely populated place on Earth.
Oh, God.
However, a few years after the war, the Japanese eschewed coal for oil, and the mine was abandoned.
Okay.
Because there is no one to manage the giant housing buildings and other complexes,
That'd be
they have
sick to
fallen
go
into
there.
severe
Look at that.
disrepair, and nature is slowly taking back the island.
That's sick.
This
Yeah.
has made the island extremely dangerous to traverse.
Oh, okay.
It looks like The Last of Us. You remember Last of
Yeah.
Us? When
Yeah.
like the city's getting all grown over and stuff. That's what it looks like. It reminds me of Last of Us.
Number 6.
Bear Island.
Bear Island. Okay.
Between the Arctic island of Svalbard,
Oh, Svalbard. I know this place. I watched the Tom Scott video on it.
Oh,
Svalbard.
nice.
It's a banger. You have to take you have to have like you have to take a gun with you because otherwise the bears are gonna get you.
Oh, really?
and mainland Norway, lies Bear Island. The island, with an area just over 110 square miles, was once considered
big.
a vital position for naval reconnaissance, but now only hosts little more than a weather station
That
and a
is
few
cool.
abandoned houses. The entire island has been declared a nature reserve by the Norwegian government, but there really isn't much nature to find, as it is largely devoid of plant and animal life, aside from moss, seabirds, and fish. It is believed that much of this is due to toxic contaminants that have found their way to the island
Oh, maybe it's not this
via
place then,
air
'cause there's no
currents
bears there.
that waft pollution from industrial
Why is it called
countries
Bear
like
Island?
the
Yeah,
United
I
States
dunno.
and England, which bordered the Atlantic.
Well, bears can
But the
probably
true
live off the
danger of
fish,
Bear Island
so-
comes from
Yeah.
another form of pollution.
Here we go.
In 1989, a Soviet nuclear submarine crashed just south of the island, resulting in much of the water surrounding the island having been possibly contaminated with radioactive waste.
Oh, that's not good.
Then, in 2009, a Russian transport carrying upwards of 15,000 gallons of oil rammed into the island,
Oh,
becoming
Russia.
launched. Much of the oil leaked into the sea, causing large numbers of the island's
You
seabird
silly gooses.
population to perish,
You ruined it for
and
everyone.
only adding to the man-made
Ruining it.
destruction haunting the island.
Really?
The pollution, combined with the desert-like terrain which averages nearly 0 inches of rainfall a year, and the steep, sharp cliffs that make up Bear Island, makes this one place you can cross off your list of potential vacation destinations.
Well, that's no fun.
I want to know where the place you're talking about is.
Why's that one called Bear Island if there's no bear?
Isn't it? Well, is it because it's bear oil? Bear radiation.
Number 5.
Saba.
Saba.
If you are willing
It's
to
the
brave the
lava,
rocky
dude.
but short
Saba.
12-minute
Saba.
plane ride from St. Martin to Saba,
Oh, wow.
the smallest island in the Dutch Antilles, you will be graced with a view like none other.
That's
a
sick.
place that looks
It's a
trapped in the ancient
volcano.
past. Upon arrival, you will find a village nestled upon a volcano that is full of vibrant atmosphere
These lot are brave.
with live music, family-owned restaurants featuring fresh-caught cuisine,
But that's
But
sick.
they're
plenty of
all
outdoor activities
Hannibals.
like scuba diving and hiking. But all this comes at a cost. One might say that the locals have become such experts at having a good time because they know at any moment it could all be destroyed. Tourists have been known to call it the unspoiled queen of the Caribbean.
Wait, so they're
but
actually
it can
living
be more
each day like
accurately
it's their
described
life,
as
Yeah, I rate that, you
Hurricane
know.
Island.
That's sick.
Because of its location right in the Atlantic's Hurricane Alley, the
wait.
island has been noted for being hit by the most hurricanes of any island
Oh.
on Earth. Despite the
Maybe not
constant
so.
attacks that Mother Nature brings down upon Saba, its people still find a way to survive and rebuild time and time again.
Fair play.
Number 4.
Rockall.
Oh, it's close
The
to home.
tiny 80-foot
Oh.
wide island
Come
known as
on.
Sidemen video.
which
Number
lies
4.
nearly 300 miles off of Scotland's
Sidemen
western
visit
shore,
most dangerous islands.
has such an imposing presence
Well, I'm
that has
down.
made its way into Irish and Scottish
It's a
culture,
rock, bro.
It's a
as
rock.
well as
It's a
popular
rock.
culture through
It's
music,
a rock.
books, and television. People have long been
Sidemen
entranced
spend
with
24
its simple
hours
yet
on a rock.
powerful structure, with some ancient myths going as far to name it the location where the apocalypse will begin. The
What?
real-life danger.
Bro, it's a fucking shitty rock.
It's
It's a rock covered in bird poo.
Oh man, that's the apocalypse
What
right
are you
there.
on about?
It's not an island, it's a rock.
Is it like loads of ships have crashed into it or something? Like, what? Okay, here we go.
Is essentially a large granite rock
Yeah.
sticking out of the ocean, the remnants of an extinct volcano.
What?
Because of its steep incline on all sides, there is really only one place for a person to stand: the peak, which you can only get to if you are a skilled rock climber. And even if you are, it isn't recommended that you try climbing the relatively short summit of 65 feet, as the island is smack dab in the part of the ocean which boasts waves reaching upwards of 100 feet, despite there being no natural value to
Those
the
penguins
island, other than its looks.
Are those penguins? What are you talking about,
on the
mate?
top.
Oh my god, they
No,
might be.
top.
no.
I don't think they are.
No, they're puffins, I think. I think they're puffins.
Ah,
It's
okay.
just off Scotland.
Yeah, but they're puffins. You have puffins around there.
Penguins, I was more
Penguins.
saying.
Oh.
Extremely important strategic location by the United Kingdom, who claimed the island in fear of it falling into the hands of the USSR and being used to house a missile silo. Britain's claim to the island also has
How
the
are you gonna hide a
historical
missile
distinction
on a rock?
of being their last modern-day territorial acquisition.
Oh, nice.
Number 3.
GRUINARD Island.
Okay, we
Oh,
go here.
GRUINARD
All right,
Island
here we
We're
go.
getting closer.
Scotland's treacherous isles. But it owes its place on our list for a man-made danger.
Better
This
be another
hauntingly
rock.
bleak-looking island was once home to some of the most extreme biological weapons testing
Oh,
of the
god,
20th
but we can't go
century.
here either.
The British Army peppered and doused the islands hundreds of times with weapons like chlorine gas and
Oh.
anthrax. The
Why?
anthrax in particular
Anthrax.
had a permanent effect on GRUINARD, as it soured the soil and decimated the entire indigenous animal population.
Oh.
The island remains a wasteland, and only sanctioned government researchers are allowed to visit it. And
Oh.
they must wear hazmat suits
Oh,
from the
okay.
moment they step on the island
Okay,
until
then.
they
You can hide and
leave.
seek in that.
Any attempt by non-military personnel to land on the island is strictly prohibited. And even if it wasn't, you probably shouldn't go there anyway, as you wouldn't survive very long.
Oh.
Number 2.
Miyake-jima,
Okay, I'm down.
the
I'm
Izu
all
island
ears.
chain that juts from Japan's southeastern coast, is made up of a string of volcanoes,
Oh, no.
all of which
no.
are currently active. In
Oh,
the last
no.
century alone, nearly
No, no, no,
200
no,
people
no,
have
no.
perished due to major eruptions.
Oh, wow.
The most major of these was in 2000.
I'd love to see a volcanic eruption in real life, you know. That's one thing, like, imagine that.
Bucket list. You know the thing in, where is it? In Iceland and stuff. They're like friendly volcanoes, the ones that spurt water.
Geysers. Or
Geysers, yeah. Geysers, geysers,
I mean-
geysers. They're like friendly volcanoes. Well, yeah, it's a lot safer than splurting the
Yeah,
ocean.
but I don't know if you can even class them as volcanoes.
No, it's a friendly version.
Fair enough,
Sure.
mate.
Wasn't there one in Iceland that did erupt?
There was one recently. There was
Didn't
one
it
like...
ground
Oh, the
all
one
the
that stopped
flights?
flights. Yeah, the one that stopped all the flights. Yeah, because there was dust all over the gaff.
That's the technical term.
Dust all over
the
the gaff.
scientific. The scientific.
2010.
Welcome to Ethan's science lesson. When volcanoes erupt, it gets dragged in the wind and there's dust all over the gaff.
Yeah, it was 2010. We had a school trip that went there during that time.
Oh shit.
You had a cool school. My school just took me to the fucking... just to the coast.
Looms over several small villages, occupied by a few thousand people, spewed lava and lethal amounts of sulfuric gas upon the island for 4 straight years.
Oh my god.
While some decided to pack up and move, a vast majority of the population stayed.
Right
Up until 2005, much of the island was restricted, and the people of Miyakajima were forced to stay inside with their doors sealed, only traveling outside in their gas masks if absolutely necessary.
Oh my.
Bro, that's just like us nowadays.
Me when I go to Sainsbury's.
And adapted to life next to this fiery giant by closely monitoring the gas levels and keeping gas masks handy in case the levels become excessive.
Here we go. Number 1.
Number 1.
RAMREE Island. Just off the coast of Myanmar, in the Indian Ocean, is RAMREE Island. At a distance, the island looks like the perfect place for a relaxing vacation. But if you were to travel inland, you'd most likely have an experience akin to a Jurassic nightmare.
Oh.
And probably end up in the belly of one of the world's oldest surviving species.
What?
RAMREE is unique because it is home to the largest consolidated basque of saltwater crocodiles.
Okay.
In World War II, after being defeated by the British in a battle on the island, the Japanese army retreated through RAMREE's swamplands, and over 400 soldiers were gobbled up by the nasty.
Oh my god, bro. Look at the size of that guy.
Thick.
That's a unit.
Bro.
Thick crocodile, bro. He been eating good.
The fact they can fit an entire human in their body is crazy, you know?
In the form of these 2,000-pound reptiles, remains the event with the largest loss of human life due to animals.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Oh.
If you had to choose one of these islands for your next vacation, which one would you choose?
Ooh.
The fucking rock. The fucking rock, mate. The fucking
What,
rock.
the rock?
Ethan
What,
with
the
a
rock
tent
of
just on
Scotland?
top of a rock.
Get me over to the rock, mate.